Hello and welcome back to Pharmacist D Hydration for Health series part 3.
It's been a while, and I must say, Pharmacist D is looking a bit different these days, with longer hair and around the face, maybe. But hey, let's get right back into our hydration journey. So, where did we get to last time? Last time we left off with the questions of how much fluid you should be drinking in a day and when is the best time to drink. It's worth mentioning that currently there's no specific recommendation regarding the amount of fluid or water that one should drink every day, as our need really depends on numerous factors that we discussed in part 1 and part 2. So, how do I get the right balance if there's no specific recommendation? Well, let's look at some general recommendation that's out there. It might seem there's a lot to think about, but our body is pretty clever when it comes to signaling us. So, the general recommendation is listen to our body. Well, how? How? When we don't have enough water, we get dehydrated. So, let's look at signs of dehydration. These symptoms start appearing when we lose about 1 to 2% of our body's water, and these continue to worsen until we replenish the fluids. In rare cases, dehydration can be fatal. So let's start with extreme warning signs. So if you or anyone experiencing these symptoms related to serious dehydration, the NHS.UK advise it is crucial to seek immediate help. These symptoms including feeling unusually tired, confused, disorientated, dizziness that won't go away when you stand up, or not urinating all day, weak or rapid pulse, and or seizures. For babies and children, watch out for symptoms such as drowsiness, fast breathing, have few or no tears when they cry, exhibit a sunken foot and nail, that soft spot on their head, we're looking at a dip, have a dry mouth, dark yellow urine, or haven't urinated within 12 hours, and or their hands and feet are cold and blotchy, again seek medical help. Now, hopefully, we won't let dehydration progress to those severe symptoms. So, let's talk about the early stages of dehydration. So, these include thirst, dry mouth, dry lips, dry eyes. So, if I'm responding to thirst, I drink when I'm thirsty. But I've heard people saying drink, don't wait until you get thirsty. You drink regularly. Well, in a healthy body, the brain detects dehydration and triggers thirst to encourage drinking. So first, don't ignore thirst. Don't ignore thirst. If you feel thirsty, definitely go ahead and drink. Dr. Hans Fauci suggests follow our instincts to drink when we are thirsty rather than aiming for the infamous 8 glasses a day. However, it is also important to note that Dr. Fauci's review is limited to healthy, myoactive adults living in a mild climate. It doesn't cover situations like illnesses, hot climate, or intense physical activities, which can affect our fluid needs. So, if you find yourself in those scenarios, you might need to pay closer attention to your hydration level. As we get older, our sense of thirst may naturally decrease, making it crucial for elderly adults to be actively thinking about their fluid intake. So, maybe the don't wait until you're thirsty approach, drink regularly, is more suitable for older adults, other high risk groups like children, babies, people with diabetes, alcoholism, or people whose sense of thirst is limited, or in condition where we're going to lose a significant amount of water, like in the heat or when we're exercising. Therefore, we need to proactively think about our fluid level to prevent dehydration. Some researchers also suggest that there's important benefit of providing even early stage of dehydrations. In some of the studies they found drinking enough to prevent mild dehydration, support brain function, and our ability to do simple tasks like problem solving. Keep up your hydration level when you're doing your Sudoku. So, thirst may be a reliable way to tell us we're dehydrated, but relying on it may not be adequate, especially if our sense of thirst is limited. So, sometimes when we feel thirsty, we might have already got the headache and tiredness. So, let's go to another symptoms. This is definitely on my top 5 frequently talked about topics in the pharmacy, and it's urine. The frequency. Peeing little and fewer than 4 times a day is an indicator of dehydration. A healthy adult, hydrated enough, should be going to the toilet between 5 to 7 times a day. The colour. Using the colour as a guidance can actually help you to determine if you're drinking enough. When we get dehydrated, our body releases a hormone that signals the kidney to conserve water, resulting in concentrated urine. Ideally, our pee should be pale straw colour, but if it's dark yellow or orange, then it's time to rehydrate. And if your urine is dark orange or brown, trust me, you're severely dehydrated, and it's essentially that you should drink up immediately. And if it hasn't been normal colour for a while and you don't have any explanation, such as you don't know whether you've eaten certain food or you're taking certain medication, then please see your GP. You know, I once went to a store. They have the healthy pee chart in their toilet. Now that's caring for colleague at its best, isn't it? So let's keep an eye on our urine colour and make sure it's in the healthy range. Yeah, look at your pee after you go. I'm sure everybody looks at their pee anyway. Do you? Or don't you? Comment below to tell me, do you look at your pee before you've seen this video? Another recommendation, the Eatwell guide recommends that people should aim to drink 6 to 8 cups or glasses of fluid a day. It doesn't quantify how much specifically 1 cup or 1 glass. That's because they've taken out the recommendation for how much water someone should drink because of all the reasons that we discussed. If you look at older recommendation, you should see a 1.2 litres a day. But everybody's hydration need is different, so they now have taken it and left this arbitrary 6 to 8 cups or glasses of fluid a day. Because they've taken out the total daily recommendation, cups now become arbitrary. So, because this is a cup, and this is also a cup. I'm going to have 6 to 8 of this, so 6D to 8D of this, maybe? In the US, a cup is 8 ounces, which is 236.59 mil. Don't worry, I'm not recommending measure out 6 to 8 lots of 236.5 mil and drinking those every day. So even if we give you a specific quantity that you should be drinking in a day, this is a total fluid intake. And as we said before, it's not purely drinking water. And don't forget your food, your pizza. Remember we said about pizza, how much water a pizza had. And maintaining hydration throughout the day is important. And this can be achieved by drinking gradually and regularly. So the recommendation of drinking 6 to 8 cups of fluid regularly, the word regularly, people might have interpreted it as in every day I should be drinking 6 to 8 cups of fluid. But the emphasis of the regularly, it's more a regular interval. So some people believe that drinking excessive amount of water is beneficial and our body will somehow store it, like we're camels. So camel can store 75 litres of water in their bloodstreams, and no, not in their hump. So if I was to drink 3 cups of these within 15 to 20 minutes, you'll probably make more trip to the toilet than if you spent 2 hours sipping through the same amount. Drinking in moderation and avoid excessive consumption is the key. Why? Why do we need to avoid excessive consumption? Whether it's possible to drink too much water. Yes. In short, yes, it is possible to drink excessive amounts of water, although it is very rare. Generally, it is not harmful for most people with a healthy kidney, even though it does mean a few more trips to the toilet. Excessive intake, especially under certain conditions, can be harmful. Overhydration is where the kidney can't excrete water fast enough, then leads to hyponatremia, which is a condition where sodium level is dangerously low. This could happen when people drink a large quantity of water very quickly after intense exercise or excessive alcohol consumption. Athletes participating in endurance sports or excessive alcohol drinkers are particularly at risk, as are individuals who take MDMA. If you don't know what MDMA is, good. It is an illicit drug, which means it's addictive, it's legal, just stay away from them. Babies are also at risk of overhydration because of their size. They can easily ingest a large amount of water that is similar to their size. That's also why we shouldn't be diluting formula milk. Cases of overhydration have been seen in marathons where runners have drunk too much water, resulting in fatality. We can't define an exact amount of water that can be fatal. The rate of consumption is definitely also a key factor. So please refrain yourself from drinking extortionate amounts of water within a short period of time. If we have to put some figures in, then I would definitely not drink more than a litre in one sitting or within an hour, as healthy kidneys are able to excrete approximately a litre of fluid of water per hour. So unless you are advised by a healthcare professional or under close monitoring, then this excessive drinking should be avoided. Also, drinking to a point where you're feeling bloated or gaining weight is not advisable either. Athletes may benefit from fluid containing electrolytes rather than plain water, and definitely avoid gulping large quantity of fluid. Proper hydration is about finding the right balance. Not too much, not too little, and it has to be just right, like Baby Bear in the story of Goldilocks and the Three Bears. Either Daddy Bear will be dehydrated, Mummy Bear will be overhydrated, or vice versa. During exercise, fluid intake should roughly match fluid loss. You didn't really sweat a bucket, therefore you don't need to drink a bucket, right? It is just a figurative speech.
So when is the best time to drink? In the morning? Well, my friends, after a night of beauty sleep, it's time to assess the hydration situation by checking your morning pee. Most likely you need to rehydrate after, I hope, an 8 hours of sleep. While there's no evidence that drinking water in the morning is more beneficial than other times, the key is to keep hydrated throughout the day. Before a meal. So if you're looking to shed some pounds, drinking a glass of water before a meal may be beneficial, as it can create a sense of fullness and therefore might reduce your appetite. More research is needed to determine whether this can help to lose weight, but at least we are hydrated. Before and after exercise, properly lost some water and possibly electrolytes through sweat, so you need to replenish them. Don't forget to listen to your body. Regularly check your pee throughout the day. Roughly every 2 to 3 hours is a good move. It's your body saying, I need some water. Or, I had enough. I don't need any more. Fine, thank you. And of course, to pay attention in circumstances that we're more likely to lose fluid, like when we're in high altitude, somewhere up on a hill, somewhere up on a plane, when we're in the heat, when we're somewhere hot or somewhere warm, and also when we're in extreme relative humidity places. That's both low and high. Low relative humidity is trying to drink from a desert. It's like drying your skin out and you need extra hydration. On the other hand, if it's too high, the relative humidity, then it makes you feel really like you're swimming in a tropical rainforest where it's all damp because it most likely lead to increase of sweating, but your sweat doesn't dry off. So replenish those fluid accordingly.
While water is essential for health, it is important to note that a well-balanced diet, including other beverage, fruit and vegetables, contributes to the overall hydration and our overall health. One thing I came across when I was looking through these researches that Dr. Vauti highlighted a very interesting point about the guilt people may feel for not meeting specific health habits such as drinking enough water. I mean, we shouldn't beat up ourselves if we are off track a little bit. Our urine's gone a bit orange today, or we've drank 250 mils of fruit juice instead of the recommended 150 mils. As long as you're not drinking it every day and you're thinking about diluting it for the next time, it is important to remember that building healthy habits takes time. We'll just do better next time. This negative connotation with health habit doesn't help your well-being at all. We want to build health habit because we want to be healthy. We don't want to make it worse. Moderation and balance are the keys. Basically, don't get fixated on a rigid number of how many cups and glass that you have to drink each day to a point where it's affecting your mental health. For some people, 5 cups of fluid throughout the day, and they eat lots of cucumbers and other high water contents food, particularly like a small couch potato like me that should do some more exercise. But actually, I need more because I talk way too much. Or if your cup is like this, nope. Or if your cup is like this, you might need. Some people may function better with a little bit more water than usual, while other people will just go to the toilet more often. If you have any questions or concern, you can always go and have a chat with your local pharmacist about your fluid intake. The key message is ensure you're getting enough fluid to stay hydrated, drink regularly, listen to your body, monitor your pee, reduce buying bottled water, keep a refillable cup or mug or bottle handy, fill up with tap water or filter water whenever is possible. During extreme weather conditions like hot climate, exercise, hiking on a hill, being on a plane, other factors that we've previously mentioned, make sure you drink to compensate the fluid loss or the increased need. And that's it for now. Rewatch this and study this information as many times as you need. If you found this useful, please consider to share it with your friends and colleagues, family, and the world. Maybe print the chart and put it in your workplace. Also, if you like this video, press one of the button that says like and subscribe to my channel. Our next topic is staying safe in the sun. Take care of yourself and your loved ones. Until next time, stay hydrated, stay awesome. Bye bye.